Welcome to a tutorial on using Microsoft Word's referencing tools to help create in-text referencing, citation, and bibliographies. One of the great fears of doing an assignment is requirement to in-text reference and create a bibliography. Normally it's a greatly time-consuming task. However, using Microsoft Word, it actually becomes a much easier and manageable task as long as we start right at the beginning of the assignment. So the first thing I'm going to do is save the file. I've opened it up. I'm going to save. Now, I always save using my username, the topic, the term or time frame, and then at what stage the assignment's up to. In this case, it's a draft. By applying this, it makes it easier to organise our files. The teacher knows when we submit it that it is your work, and they can return drafts easily to you as we solve that. The key factor for us today is looking at references. In the toolbar here, references is a very important tool which we often just let go by. So we click on references, and we first of all need to go to style. Style is a format in which the referencing will be done. There are many different styles. So you can see here, we've got Chicago, Ghost, Harvard, ISO, MLA. At St. Pat's, we use APA 6. So it's important to make sure your style is set to APA. Secondly, we then need to go to Manage Sources. Now, Manage Source Manager is the tool which allows us to organize all the sources that we ever use on this computer. If you notice here on the left-hand side, you can see sources which I've used in the past. We can just click on those and copy them straight across to our new assignment task. We can delete them by just highlighting them and clicking on delete. In this case, we're going to add some new sources. So I'm going to click in here, and in our create source, it's important to look under the type of source, the range of sources in which we can enter information for. There's an incredible number, and they cover all circumstances. For today's task, I'm going to click on our databases tab from LibGuides and click on Encyclopedia Britannica. I'm going to select high school, and then I'm just quickly going to do the Berlin blockade. No particular reason, just chose it for the sake of it. Okay, the first thing to recognize is that the page results and search results are congested on the right hand side of the screen because of the only using half a screen. But we come on down, we'll find our results. Just going to click on this one for a starter. Okay, so we've got this information here, and as I read it and look at it, I think, yeah, that makes some really great notes. I can use some, get some useful information from here. So the first thing I do is go up to source and go to determine the type of source that it is. It was obviously not a book section or a journal article, conference report. It could be a website, but in actual fact, more specifically, it's a document from a website, a particular page of a website. We can click on that. Now, as I go down, up and down the page, I can see that there's no recognized author. This is a common occurrence. Boys often get confused by it. It means there's a corporate author. Organisations like CSIRO, Australian War Memorial, Britannica is another one. They quite often don't have a particular author. Museums, they don't have particular authors. So they have a corporate author. Name a web page, it's obvious, it's Berlin Blockade and Airlift. Okay, the name of the website, well, that's Britannica. Up here we go, Britannica School, and it's high. We're going to put that in. It's actually quite important. Now, I just want to draw your attention to down here, we've got examples. So if I move this around, it tells us what page we're on. It gives an example of how to enter it, about us. ADATA Corporation. Now, the next page is ADATA Corporation website. The year we're talking about, and again, the example says 2006, it shows us how to enter it. So it's the year that we access the information, which is 2015. The month, okay, which down here we can see is 04, but in the example, it gives us January. So we've got to spell it. So it's April. The day is April 1. Then it's a simple matter of copying the URL and pasting it. And I didn't get it all, so I need to go back and make sure I get the whole URL and paste. If I don't get the correct information, if I make a mistake in doing this, then when I do my text editing, it will come up in error. So I'm going to close that. So now, let's say that I've done all my research. I'm going to I'm starting to write my assignment, and I start the Berlin blockade was a major feature, a major event that led to increased tensions in the Cold War era. Now, we can obviously see I'm not a great typist, but we can also change those as we go. So now I've got this information from this source. So what do? I go over here to insert citation. I do a click, and there's my source. Click it in, and now it has been cited correctly. Okay, and so that's an easy starting point for this task. If it was a book, then I would need to, again, go to Many Sources, click on Many Sources, click on New, move it from Document to Book. This would be the same for an ebook, by the way. Now, I'm just going to bring up a photo here of the front cover of the book. Okay, and the author's name is Simpson, John Simpson. I'll put my cursor here for the author, and it gives us his name, an example. So it's Kramer James. So in other words, the surname comes first. So I've got to put in Simpson, comma, John. Okay, that's good. Now, I also need to get I put him in the title, so I'm going to cut that out. Correct my mistake, sorry. Go back up to author, comma, John. And it just shows you how easy it is to make a mistake, making sure that we use the correct format. Okay, so the book is called Dispatches from the Barricades. Dispatches from the Barricades. An eyewitness account of the revolutions that shook the world 1989, 90. Okay, so we just go click on OK, and it appears again, and we just close. I could now make the following sentence. Simpson argues that, and we can put in whatever we want there. So I'm just going to put a couple of dots to make it easier for us. And now I'm going to insert the citation. Now there's two we can go from. So we choose Simpson, and it puts it in. However, it hasn't given us enough of the information. So I'm going to go and click on here. In my sentence, I mentioned Simpson already. So I'm going to edit the source here. Sorry, edit the citation. So I'm going to make it up. So page 65 perhaps. Because I use the author's name here, I'm going to suppress that. We actually do need the year, and we can suppress the title. So now click OK. And I've made a mistake in my Because the year hasn't appeared, I've made a mistake in my managed sources. So I go back up to managed sources. I click on it. I go edit. And look, I left out that important information. So where do I get that from? Quite simply, I need to go to what we call the Verso page. It's normally the third or fourth page in the book. The year it was published, we can see over here is down here is 1990. The city it was published in, we've got an option for city in South Africa, a city in New Zealand, or we have Sydney in Australia. Because we're in Australia, we choose the local publication place, which is Sydney, and then the publisher is Random House. This information is all located on the Verso page. So we click OK. Yes, I wanted to update it, and I close. Now what's happened is actually automatically corrected my error over here. It's now got 1990 and page 65. So there you have it, man. It's a very simple tool. You need to be entering the data as you use the source. Don't wait to the end. You use it as you go along. By doing that, you are on top of your referencing. So when you submit your draft, to put the referencing in is very, very simple. To put the bibliography is in very simple. That way it can be checked by your teacher if it's satisfactory and get feedback. And then when your good copy comes in, you make the adjustments required. Thank you. Have a great day.